Hey guys, Radio here with another Team Fortress 2 video. I was going to show you some spy footage today, just to help those of you who may not be comfortable with the spy, as he is a very difficult class. So in this video I'm going to be targeting a lot of engineer buildings, because there are a lot of them in this game. And it sort of shows what the main job of the spy is, just to, while the rest of your team are pushing the cart, this is for attacking, then you've really got to be the one who's sapping everything before your team get to it, and just putting on pressure on the red team from behind, you know, divide the efforts so they're not focused just on the cart, they'll actually be checking around for you. So I don't start off to the best of the best way with I die a couple times, only sapping a couple things, but it gets better as it goes along, and I become a real problem for the engineers especially. I usually switch between knife and sapper. I mean, gun is pretty unnecessary unless you're far enough away and no one's chasing you. I don't know, that's just my preference. Other people might prefer to use the gun. But I've got the Dead Ringer as well, which is the best invisible watch in my experience, just because it really reduces the amount of deaths. As you can see in a minute here, you know, that engine is chasing me, he thinks he gets me, and I managed to get away, so it's just a really useful tool to have. Here's an example of attacking from behind, just killing one person, getting away, disguising, get killed, or so he thinks, and my invisibility lets me get away again. It's just about, it's kind of like the scout in terms of hit and run tactics. You know, you don't want to be taking on the entire team, you just want to pick off anyone who's alone. You know, tried to use my gun there because I was far enough away, but didn't need it because the engineer stopped following me. This guy's AFK, so he's irrelevant, but yeah, always, you know, making sure I get a new disguise before I head out anywhere. Obviously, you don't want to see people, you don't want people to see you changing disguise, because it's just going to be pointless, because, you know, they'll know who you are and they'll tell their team most likely. But here you are, I'm attacking from behind, and because of that my team are able to make a push to the next checkpoint, and the sentry was, you know, a pretty small threat to the team. Yep, stopping them from setting up another sentry here, and engineer gets killed by my team. So the spy is a great team player, because while you you know, sap everything and provide pressure, your team are then protecting you by attacking from the front. You know, you're not alone as a spy, you've always got someone else helping to kill the players who are trying to kill you. So that's a great idea, well, a kind of great concept to think about when you're being a spy. You know, your team are there to help you. Also, another thing, don't be the same disguise for too long. I usually choose a different disguise each life, because otherwise players are just going to be able to predict who you are when they see, if you're an engineer for example, all the time, they're going to start thinking that every engineer is a spy, and it's going to be a lot harder for you to do things without being attacked. So here I get burned twice, so 2 times I have to try and get away, which I do, again thanks to the help of my team. But you know, it's very difficult to get away from pyros, which is another reason why the Dead Ring is such a good thing, because you know, it means you don't have to become invisible and then get set on fire. It only turns you invisible once you've been set on fire, so you know, you get the maximum amount of invisibility before the pyro kills you. Gives you the longest time to get away. Again, you know, putting pressure on them, wasn't quick enough to stab the engineer and sap the sentry, which is a good tactic. You know, if you're quick enough, you can quickly stab him and sap his sentry before it turns round. But other people prefer to just run around the sentry, constantly sapping it while the engineer tries to repair it. But I don't always like that tactic, because the engineer sometimes changes his mind and goes after you, and you usually end up dying, so I prefer to try and get rid of the engineer first. Here you go, I go for the other way this time, because I don't want to die twice to this sentry, so I just keep sapping it, and eventually he can't save it, and I get away as well. Perfect. So I'm right by the spawn here, which is great for the spy, because he's meant to be right at the back, you know, picking off as many things as he can, buildings and players. Here I managed to completely get rid of the rest of the buildings, and there you go, attacking the engineer while the sentry is destroyed. So there you go, some gameplay of a spy there, and I hope to see you next time.